Most people, if not everyone, wants to be on the winning side. And even if they're not on the winning side, they want to know that the side that they choose has a chance at winning. And we see a lot of this being displayed even right now as we watch the World Cup. But I can tell you for free that being on a human side, the win is never guaranteed. And even if there's a win, the win is only temporary. But there's only one side with a sure and guaranteed victory, and the victory lasts for eternity. So there's no other side that can overthrow it. The Bible tells us that being on the Lord's side is a side that guarantees this kind of victory. And I believe many people might gloss over the importance of that. We usually choose a side that we think can guarantee us all kinds of security. And one of the major sides that we tend to choose in regard to this is wealth, because we believe that wealth can guarantee security in provisions. We believe that wealth can guarantee us security in safety. We believe that having wealth is something that we can pass on after us, and it will guarantee the security for our children and our children's children. And while there's a possibility of that working out for someone, even wealth has its failing point. In Revelation chapter 6, 15 to 17, it says, "Then the kings of the earth and the great men and the military commanders and the wealthy and the strong and everyone, whether slave or free, hid themselves in the caves and among the rocks of the mountains. And they called to the mountains and the rocks, 'Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the righteous wrath and indignation of the Lamb.'" So there's coming a day when even wealth won't be able to stand. Now, don't get me wrong, wealth is fine and it has its place. And even God is the one who gives it to us in varying diversities, but only temporary for his eternal glory. But sad to say, many times we only use it for our glory instead of his. This is probably why Jesus says in Matthew 6, verse 24, "No one can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon." But whether it is wealth or people or whatever kind of power, any side that we choose over God's side will have its failing point, and that is guaranteed. There's a historical account in the Bible where God's people choose to depend on Baal rather than God. There's a historical account in the Bible where God's people choose to serve Baal over the God of the universe. Now, Baal was a god of war, weather, and fertility, which without those things, many of the basic things that people need for survival are cut off. However, when we consider that Baal is the god of just these three things, and the God of the universe is the God of the universe, then we can start to put into perspective how far more the security in God exceeds the security in Baal. Now in 1 Kings 18:21, there's a big showdown between the prophets of Baal and the one prophet Elijah, who is a prophet of God. And he challenges the people on this same fact. Which of these gods are the real God? And which of these gods can really provide the security that you need? He says, "How long will you hesitate between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if it is Baal, then follow him." And I think this question is one that we should take on. At the end of that account, and you should read it and check it out, you probably might be familiar with it. The main point that is made is that God is the Lord and there is no other, and he alone should be worshipped. So let me ask the question. If wealth and all those things are God, then choose that side. But if the God of the universe, who created even us, who makes all the provision that we have and continues to do so whether we like him or not, is God, then that is the side that we should choose. And as I said before, for free information, I'll tell you that that side has a guaranteed victory, and the victory is eternal. When I was setting up to make this video, my daughter added a piece of information and I want to put that in here. She said, in order to choose God's side, you have to get to know him. So I say, choose God's side and get to know him. That is the true winning side.